Acropolis. As for the look, we have a solid background with something different to see in every direction. Half of the screen is covered in grained stone rubble though. Also, the blue-grey color palette feels bland and somewhat hurts my eyes. Creatively speaking, you're just fighting in front of a distant tourist site, there's not much to it. The music is decent, but could use some high points.
Kazuya Mishima wins!
Angkor Wat. Another solid backdrop with just enough variation to avoid monotony. The colors though feel lifeless, and why is the main attraction of the stage so dark? Like the previous stage, Angkor Wat is just another faraway tourist site. Also, I find the music somewhat chaotic and not fitting for the stage.
Phoenix wins!
Chicago. Here we have the first stage that lacks some variation in its background. We do have a beautiful skyline, but it's far off and half of it is covered by this ring blockage, while 1/3 of the screen appears pitch black entirely. It could have used some stars or such. Fighting on top of a building is pretty badass though, which elevates the stage a little from the previous ones in terms of creativity. I prefer the music here to the previous stage, but it still feels a bit too chaotic for such a calm looking environment.
Kazuya Mishima wins!
Fiji. This stage is very pleasing to the eyes. A clean background combined with a vibrant color palette. There isn't much going on in the background, but at least it's up close while not distracting from the fighters on the screen. A beach as a fighting spot isn't super creative, but at least visually it is very well executed. Same goes for the music. It's fun, varied and fits the stage.
Phoenix wins!
King George Island. There isn't much going on in the background here and the colors are muted. Fighting on an ice floe though is pretty badass and does feel unique. Also, if you pay attention, the stage actually moves during the fight and there's falling snow. Bonus point for that. I also like the music. It's catchy and fits the stage well. Kyoto. Another stage based on a real-life attraction. Clean, close and colorful. The background is pretty repetitive though, and there's nothing going on. The music on the other hand is catchy, varied and once again fits the stage. Marine Stadium. Another stage I personally really like. Yes, as you would expect from a stadium, the actual background is somewhat repetitive and the sky is just a flat blue without any clouds or such. However, the stage's floor this time around is very detailed as it actually depicts a baseball playing field. Also, this time it makes sense for the background to be distant as it gives the player some sense of the stadium's scale. The whole thing feels unique for a stage and I like how vibrant everything looks. The big monitor in the background depicting live footage of the ongoing fight is a nice touch. The music is catchy and does fit the stage, but I feel it could use a bit more variety. Monument Valley. Here we have a clean background combined with a warm color palette. There are just enough different rock formations to see to not make the stage appear boring, and while they are distant, they add some scale and depth to the stage. Then again, it's just a canyon with nothing much to it. Visually solid, but not all that imaginative. But the dynamic sunset is a nice touch, as well as the fact that it casts long shadows of the fighters in the correct direction. The music is weird with this one and somewhat eerie. I give it credit for sounding unique, but I'm not sure if it truly fits the otherwise chill vibe of the stage, even with its wind and rattlesnake sound effects. And I also think that it could use some high points. Szechwan. Another stage somewhere in the middle of nowhere. There's not a lot to see here. Just trees, endless mountains. Oh, there's a house over there. Then again, I do like the sense of scale and depth here. Not a fan of the muddy color palette though. In the end, it's just another decent landscape with not much to it. I like the music. Somewhat chaotic, but still enjoyable. And I like how varied it is. It doesn't really fit the dull environment though. Venezia. One of the weaker stages. The background itself is solid but repetitive. Yes, there are landmarks, but it all just blends together. At least the ring blockage doesn't block half of the environment this time around. Still, we are looking at another skyline without much to it. I don't like the music here, straight up. I don't know what they were going for with this one. It's all over the place. Windermere. And finally, another looker of the stage. We have a beautiful backdrop paired with vibrant colors. Technically there isn't much to see, but we get another nice sense of scale and depth here, with a uniquely textured floor, detailed foreground elements and a clean background plate. The environment is nothing too crazy, but very pleasant to look at. The music though, again, sounds decent, but I just don't think it fits the overall vibe of the stage that well. And there you have it, all 11 stages from the original Tekken rated by me. Tell me in the comments what you think. Thanks for watching.